I remember the morning I realized I had to act fast. My mother's apartment was quiet. Too quiet. Even her old clock seemed to be holding its breath. I walked around, feeling walls close in. The realization hit me again: if I didn't stop this, she would vanish from my life completely. I took a deep breath, grabbed my bag, and ran straight to the records office. The fluorescent lights made my skin feel colder. I approached the clerk with calm determination. I had rehearsed my questions. I had rehearsed my tone. I had rehearsed nothing. The clerk glanced at me like I was just another visitor. I handed over my ID and explained my case. Her face shifted. Something clicked. She whispered, "Follow me." We walked down a narrow corridor, away from the public line. The walls felt endless, sterile. I asked her if the transfer request had been processed. She paused. "Not yet," she said. "You have a small window." I didn't wait for permission. I opened the filing cabinet. Scanned documents. Every form. Every signature. Every alteration. I found it. A page that confirmed Kevin's request. The signature wasn't valid. But it was close. Close enough that someone could have destroyed my mother's control entirely. I called my lawyer immediately. She didn't hesitate. She told me to meet her at the courthouse in an hour. The drive felt surreal. The city blurred past. Every traffic light seemed like a countdown. Every honk is a drumbeat of urgency. At the courthouse, the receptionist raised an eyebrow. She whispered, "You're early." I said, "I don't have time to be on schedule." My lawyer led me to a small office. We laid out the evidence. Emails, letters, archived calls. The paper trail was undeniable. We drafted an injunction on the spot. I remember waiting outside the courtroom, pacing. Every minute felt like an hour. I clutched my mother's photo in my wallet. Her smile, her gentle eyes, her frail hands. I promised her silently that I would not fail again. The judge entered. Silence fell like a curtain. I handed over the documents. Kevin sat on the opposite side, composed, almost smug. He didn't see me, didn't see the rage simmering inside. The lawyer spoke first, laying out every manipulation. The stolen access. The misinformation. The fabricated concerns. The unsanctioned forms. The judge listened, pen poised. Then came the final piece. The surveillance footage I had discovered weeks ago. Hidden cameras my mother had secretly installed. They captured every meeting. Every conversation. Every confession. Kevin's voice was calm, but his intentions were revealed in stark relief. I pressed play. The courtroom went silent. Kevin's expressions shifted. From confidence to discomfort. To shock. He looked at me, disbelief in his eyes. The clips showed him instructing caregivers, coordinating with a friend to remove my mother's autonomy, all while presenting himself as the protector. And then the moment I had waited for. My mother's voice, firm and steady, explains her own wishes. Her face is smiling behind the lens. "You belong to no one but yourself," she said. The room seemed to exhale with me. I had proof. I had justice. I had vindication. The judge nodded slowly. The words rang like a gavel in my chest. The transfer was nullified. All control reverted to my mother. Kevin's requests were invalidated. The court ordered immediate supervision and investigation into his actions. I ran out of the courthouse. I had to see her. I had to feel her warmth again. The moment I stepped into her apartment, she looked up. Her eyes were bright, almost teasing. "You made it," she said softly. I knelt and held her hands. I promised, I whispered. Tears slid down her cheeks. She smiled, proud and relieved. No one can take you away from me, she said. That evening, we cooked together. We laughed. We cried. We planned future trips. Nothing dramatic. Nothing extravagant. Just us. I sat across from her and realized something essential. Love can be manipulated. But loyalty is proof against erasure. Systems fail. People lie. But the connection between a mother and a child can withstand anything if fought for. Later that night, I walked her around the apartment one last time. This is your home, I said. She squeezed my hand. Home is where we are together, she replied. I learned a truth I will never forget. Power is temporary. Control is fleeting. But vigilance and courage are permanent. I also learned something about myself. That I could stand up, even when everything seemed against me. That I could fight quietly, smartly, relentlessly. Before I left to return to my apartment, she pulled me close. Thank you, she whispered. For not letting them erase me. For not letting them erase us. And in that moment, I realized how much stronger I had become. Not because I wanted revenge, but because I refused to be powerless. The next day, the media picked up the story. Kevin's schemes were public. His authority crumbled. People were shocked. But my mother, she just smiled. I told you, she said. Weeks later, we planted a small garden on our apartment balcony. Tiny pots, fresh soil, seeds for every season. I thought of all the things that had been stripped away from us. I thought of the love that had been challenged. I thought of how fragile control is, and how fierce determination can reclaim it. Sometimes, the smallest acts of vigilance are the loudest acts of courage. That night, I held my mother's hand as we watched the city lights. We whispered nothing. We didn't need to. We had won. And I finally understood, life doesn't just return what's taken. Sometimes, it gives more than we could imagine. I looked at my mother and knew, we survived. We were no longer victims. We were unstoppable. True power isn't control over others. It's vigilance, courage, and the refusal to be erased. If someone tried to erase you from your own life, would you fight quietly or walk away? The end. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the story, give us a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content. Hit the notification bell to stay updated. And check out our playlist for more. Your support means everything to us.